Yeah, no play with my name. You come with your goals, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. This defense for the Cardinals, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Allen's throw going to be caught by Davis. And he'll be out right at the 35. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Allen's throw is complete, and they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. And he's already got 2 catches on. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cards are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Cardinals at 9-6 now. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On play action, it's Murray. And that's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Murray now to throw. And this one is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Murray. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season, and that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
On 1st and 10 is Connor, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Second down, here's an option right. They find some open field here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I help the back? Do I help the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Allen off the play fake. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On play action, Allen. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing again on second down. Allen. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Allen now looks to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Khalil Shakir. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
When the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. On the counter, it's Connor. Up to the 20.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Murray off play action. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. His first catch good for 8 and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd and 9, Murray. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 43. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. Murray going to look to run. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against them throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray being chased out left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Here's Murray. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 20-yard line. That third down conversion good for 23.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The defense was ready for the run-pass option. Diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's the option. Running right. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
That's one. Hey, hey, hey,
on third down, it's Connor. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Oh, look at this play call. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. And the gadget play here on 4th down winds up backfiring. And the Bills are going to get the football back. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now they run the sweep as Allen just pops this forward. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Gabriel Davis, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Bills take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are. But what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it.
Murray fighting, lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away. Tuck it away because you've got to take care of the ball.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Option play. Here's Cook. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
This is caught. Touchdown. Dawson Knox from 6 yards away. And the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
They're going for it. Hits Murray. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Kaiir Elam makes a pick. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Here's Bass now for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score Bills 28, Cardinals 7. Tyler Bass for the kickoff for Buffalo.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
After the sack on 1st down, Murray looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from, working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open. Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Murray. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Bills 28, Cardinals 7.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And some room to maneuver. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. 1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Eric Ebron, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and run the option left side. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, 1st down. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 48-yard line. Here's Connor on the read option. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll run the option left. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 25-yard line. Murray tucks and runs. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Shotgun now from Murray. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing on second and long. Murray under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. David Onyemata busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
54 yards on the ground for him so far. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Here's Cook again, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Buffalo, they continue to show they're playoff ready as they move to 13-3 with 1 game remaining.